Yo guys, Waffle Gamer here, and today I'm going to be making a review on the t55am1, t62m1, which I call the M brothers, and their standard counterparts, t55 and t62. And today I'm joined by a fellow Dutch speaker who doesn't really like to speak Dutch. Maarten, please introduce yourself.
I am me. I exist.
Thank you for the introduction. So, let's begin with the standard counterparts. Here you have the t55, a fairly decent medium tank at battle rating 8.3. Could you quickly go to the Russian tree and tell me how much research it would cost? Because I don't know that from the outside anymore.
The T55,
Yes, the A.
it's 180.
It would set you back 100, like, you have,
180,000 RP.
yes, you have to grind 180,000 RP for this thing. Same goes for the T62, I imagine. And they both
No,
cost,
T62 is 220.
the normal one or the M?
Yes, normal one, the M is 250.
Okay, then the normal one is 220,000, and then the M is 250,000.
Yes.
And the price in total is I think 600,000 for t55 AM. It's 490,000 to purchase it, if I'm not mistaken.
580.
Hmm.
And then 170 for crew. On the T62 and on the T51, it's 104. No, it's 490 and 140.
So yes, is it is basically 600,000 to put it a bit more simple, or 700,000, one of the two.
630.
It's 630,000 to buy and slot this tank, and the t62 is obviously a bit more expensive, and this one is obviously a bit more expensive. t55am1 is a premium, so that will set you back a pack of 50 euros, which includes 2,000 golden eagles, 15 days of premium account, and this tank, which I fucking love. I ground out actually most of the tech tree with this. So let's go to the t55 back. This is a tank which is pretty mobile for the size of a tank. The turret is, yeah, this was a, fuck's sakes. Being at 8.3, you don't really get any composite armor. You do get pretty decent armor. You get 100 millimeters armor sloped at 59 degrees, which brings it to an effective thickness of about 180 to 190 millimeters. The lower plate is sloped at 56 degrees. Sorry for the pause, my mother accidentally came in. And you have a decently protected turret, 140 mils, 100 mils, this is variable thickness cast armor. 200 mils being the thickest part. Then the sides, they're pretty meh, only 80 millimeters, slope at 0. The back, 16 degrees, 45 mils. Nah, tank, back, always the least armored part of the tank. The cannon is a 100 millimeter D10-2S cannon with 43 pieces of ammunition, and then you also have a coaxial mounted 762 SGMT machine gun with 3,500 rounds and a 12.7 Dishka on top of the turret. You also have night vision and a night vision lamp right here, which is extremely bright, as I will show you guys in a picture. And this is the layout. You have the engine in the back, transmission, everything in the back, driver in the front. Here you have fuel with the ammunition inside it, which sometimes saves you because this is literal Stalin inside the tank. But yeah, for the rest, I really enjoy this tank. The shells are APDS. You get this stock, then you can research this shell, which is an APHE, armor piercing capped ballistic capped, which is extremely good at killing tanks. And that's mainly what I used in this thing. That's how I got over 400 kills with this thing. Then you have the 3BM25, which is the APFSDS. You can also get a smoke shell, heat shell, and also get an HE shell. As you can see, I have not spaded. I have not spaded all three of these tanks because I didn't play them too much. Because I had a tank at the next tank after that so fast already. Yay! Um, then you have the t55am1, which I don't know which time period it was again, but they wanted to, like, some nations still use this damn tank. That's how, like, cheap and good this tank is for how old it's been. Then you have the t55am1, which they wanted to increase the armor values of this thing to make it more survivable. So what they did is they mounted, they call this eyebrows. I don't know, like, it's a name for it, but I don't really know it, and it's in Russian. I don't really want to butcher it. So you have here, you see this huge block on the front and this plate on the bottom to protect you from the shrapnel of mines. They have this huge block on the front, which is actually, which inside actually houses composite armor. Same with these two. And here you can see this. Martin is being called on Skype currently.
Excuse me.
That's no problem. He'll be probably back. Here you can see the composite armor. This right here, that's actually still the turret right there. Like, you have this composite, you have this piece on the outside, composite, and then this piece, which is still the turret, as you can see. So you can see you get a very lot of laminate layers. Yeah, those are the armor thickness. Metal polymer block, which you can get in here, which is actually pretty decent at stopping heat rounds and APFSDS rounds. The hull, not so much. And as you can see, it's not really protecting that much. It's only protecting the sides of the turret, not really the front. That's the thing. Someone shoots at you, your breach is immediately gone. Doesn't matter. This one you also get included a laser rangefinder, which is actually right here on top of the gun. If you're wondering which camo I'm currently using, it is these decals I put on there myself, but this is the Finnish summer camouflage. Here you can see Finnish summer camouflage. These are the things. The scale set to 0, condition to 100, rotation to 0. But yeah, this is currently my favorite. Yeah, the coax actually changes to a PKT instead of a SGMT, which you get 500 rounds less of ammo and 50 rounds less for the Disha. You also get smoke grenades. You still retain the same cannon, although with this one you have one more shell, plus you can fire missiles. What else? Yeah, back to the armor. Here you have your other composite block at the front of your hull. And for the rest, this thing is the exact same as this thing. They're both the exact same, t55am1 and t55, except the armor and the laser rangefinder. This just gets a lot of gifts and treats that the standard one doesn't. But here, as you can see, mass 41.5 tons and t55 36. So yeah, they had to install a engine that was 110 that had 110 more horsepower, which makes this thing incredibly maneuverable. I've actually multiple times oversteered in this thing where I was going so fast because this engine is so powerful. I was going full speed, I turn, and instead of turning my tank, like for example I want to turn there, instead of my tank going there, my hull just swivels around all the way down to there because this thing's so maneuverable. You also get a fully stabilized cannon with both of them, which is very fun. And that I will showcase the armor in the demonstration of that. Then let's go on to the T62. These things, in my opinion, are buses. In my opinion, these things don't handle well. I've driven one spaded, doesn't drive well. Mine isn't spaded, but I've driven one spaded before, and in my opinion, the mobility is way lacking compared to this. Because with this thing, I can cross almost anything. Like, I've stood on hills where my tank was, I don't know, sitting about like this. Where my tank was almost, where my tank was like sitting that's like the floor. It was like sitting like that, and it was still just staying there. And that's what I love about these things. These things are so good. In that, but you can also fire an ATGM with this, with the M series, if I forgot to say that. Which, I don't really use too often, but I do sometimes still use it. But yeah, then you have the T62. This was built after the t55, which I actually thought was the other way around. Here you get almost the same internal layout, only this one is longer. T62 is a bit longer, but the third is also a bit more flat. Armor layout, 60 degrees at the hull front, which provides 180 to almost 200 millimeters of armor. That was Discord. Then the bottom plate, 55 degrees, gives it even more armor values. 200 millimeters at all the way bottom. Turret, 300 mils. This is one just big ass cast. Over 400, 500 mils. Hull, roof, and all that. Then here you still get your IR lamp, which is actually very common on Russian tanks. You even get it still on t62. As you can see the picture. Get it on that as well. On t62B, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. Price 6, you even get it on the BMP2. And you even get it on Tunguska, Shilka. If I'm not mistaken, you even get it on the ASU-57, which is already mad. But no, in my opinion, these things are so lackluster compared to, like, in terms of maneuverability, these are so lackluster in my opinion. The reload is of course slower. It's still at the same battle rating, gets less ammunition, gets the same PKT machine gun you have on this thing, t55am1, and you have a slow reload because this is a automatic shell ejection system. So what you do is you load the shell into the gun, you fire, and then what happens is the shell gets put into this little crater right here, and this would open and the shell would actually fly out like yeet. The shell would actually fly out. And I've noticed something, I've tested this before. This one actually throws the shells out farther, where the shells actually hit the front here and they make a full rotation. These mostly land on the engine deck. But yeah, you get a 115mm cannon this time, which, nah, damage is meh. Like, it's just ordinary. You get 2 APFSS shells, you get 1 standard, which has that value, then you get this one, which has that value, and then you also get a heat shell. And yeah, T62, in my opinion, it's not maneuverable. It's just, in my opinion, it's more of a bus compared to the T55s. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I'd rather take T55 over this thing. Now onto the t62m, which, not joking, this is literally the exact same package as t55. These composite turret blocks are the exact same, just with a little extension here as on t55. This front piece on the hull, exact same, just I think a bit more, just the slopes are a tiny bit different for the, what's it called? For the driver to see out of. I will be right back. I just quickly have to go do something. And we are back, people. Well, Martin is actually still here. So yeah, this, as I told you guys, this is literally the exact same armor package as I'll show you here. See, it's the exact same armor package, only this one is, I think, a tiny bit, no, it's actually the exact same. No, oops, that's the wrong. No, these are the exact same. You still get your plate at the bottom for your shrapnel from the mines. But yeah, this one handles a tiny bit better than this one. Still doesn't handle nearly as well as this thing. I haven't driven this thing spaded yet. May handle extremely well. That might be fun. But yeah, as you can see, again, 42 tons of armor, 37 tons of armor. That's 5 tons worth of armor extra. You can go faster as well. And this tank is at BR 8.7 as well. This is the only one at 8.7. This one is still 8.3. You still get the exact same armor package, your metal polymer. Here you're still front. You get your ammunition in your wet storage. You get your engine, transmission, everything. Here again the same system where it eats out the shell. Get the PKT and the Dishka up top. And you get smoke grenade launchers, and here you get your laser rangefinder up top, which I don't yet have researched. Here you get your sights, where this is, you also get a lot of nice new things. You can get a modification for this here, the side skirts, which means if you see these little pegs here, what it does is it adds these things to the side, which actually helps against heat rounds. It actually helped me. It acts basically as ERA. What it does is the heat shell hits this and it sets off the shell, so the jet doesn't penetrate your tank. It only saved me one time because Gaijin. But yeah, these series of tanks are pretty fun to play sometimes. So now I'll go into a firing demonstration to show you the armor differences.
I try to be as polite as possible,
Yeah.
which is never going to happen.
Quick explanation, Martin fucking abandoned me, twat. So,
Who's Martin?
Nah, someone else I met. He's a Dutch, but he hates speaking Dutch. He's you, but he's Dutch.
Nice.
So yeah, I asked my good friend Ben. So yeah, please ready up in the cross team.
Says the guy that's not ready up. Great success. Okay.
Okay, first take out the t55.
I put. Why is the airfield already burning?
What the fuck?
It's my hatred. It's burning.
No, they just have it installed.
The game's like, oh my god, he's playing Germany, but he hates Germany. How is that possible? How could this happen to me?
Yeah, let's do it on the run.
It's my mistakes. Okay. Got nowhere to run. I hate Germany. But Leopard 1 is cool.
I'll stand here, if you want to stand right there.
He's dead. Oh no!
Oh, and yeah, that's the thing that's most common on all Russian tanks at the time, except 3 that I found so far. They don't neutral steer.
Yay!
because they want to be compact and the interstellar interaction is quite big.
Let me check one thing quickly. Tracking ground targets off. Thank you. Annoying as fucking shit.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Please
Okay.
shoot me on my right cheek from my turret.
Your right side.
Yeah. As you can see, which shell was that?
Sable.
That was APDS, and yeah, it's penned and shrapnel for jack shit. Now please the other shell on the other cheek. That was heat, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
Still APDS.
Yep.
That was
No, I got heat.
on the other cheek. Let me just quickly repair. Here you have the machine gun, big gun, APHE, which is devastating to leopards.
He's lying.
Want me to show him?
Go for it.
Okay. Let me just quickly load the APHE. God damn, you did. What the hell, bro? I have like a KV2 reload. What the fuck?
Oh, I killed Ivan on.
But yeah, as you can see, he could mess with turret. Now you can just shoot me.
Fuck.
There's one real weak spot. People for Russian tanks. I'll show. Yep, shoot me where. Is that the
Well, that's a weak spot with solid shots, not with. Yeah,
no, with
with.
heat.
That's heat.
That's heat. Nah. Meh. Heat.
Basically, to sum up your very interesting explanation of the capabilities of a tank, the T55 is fast, agile, has a stabilizer, has very good shells, and likes to shoot people, but it doesn't like to be shot at. So for its own tier, it's mediocre. Mostly or best suited for run and gun.
No. Or
Okay,
just this Russian tanks at this VR are mostly played defensive.
Hey, at least they're not British.
No. At least they can actually drive fast. Nope, ready. Same.
Okay.
Cheek.
Nooting.
What show was that?
Saber.
Okay, so this thing is vulnerable. What to say about that?
I shoot there. Nooting. Oh, well, actually I got Ivan.
Even ate the shell for dinner.
Oh,
What was
Yeah.
that?
again Sable. I only use Sable.
So if you want to kill one, shoot it in both sides of the turret.
Definitely. Just, yeah, stay at the spawn, shoot once that the spawn protection goes out, and then I can showcase it more.
Yep.
And I try to maintain the same distance. Oh, but no. Ah, but 55.
That
A good one.
that's actually recent one. I don't.
Nah, with the Sandstorm the best premium, but okay.
Yeah, actually, you're the alpha for it. But like I don't know why they put it down to 8. The 8.7 was supposed to be this one. Because usually I take full ammo on this thing.
Yeah, actually, since quite some time I'm using at least 20 to 30 rounds each time.
I currently have no shells in my turret. Let's just say that.
Well, look at me. Nice. That's a good bounce. Okay, try the same spot again. Again, Ivanovic, dead.
If you can, shoot at the Brandenburg thing from the front. Yeah, that's a clear demonstration. If you want, you can do it with the heat as well. Yeah, that's just a clear demonstration of how actually amazing these armor packages are. It's just that they don't really cover the front of your turret. They only cover the cheeks.
Which is the problem.
No.
Because if I just slightly turn further to the left and dump here. So if possible to give a tip from my side, if you have a T55 and you know your enemy is ready to fire, just don't look at him directly. Just try to slightly
try and wiggle your turret a bit.
Not even wiggle, just angle it to one side.
No. That's the thing. Most of the time, people shoot you in your turret. You're like nothing gets hit besides your fucking reach. It's always reach.
Yep. And about the weak spot of all Russian tanks, if you stay like this. If you have problems with Russian tanks, just try to shoot them like this. Oh, but no, that was a very good fail. Okay, normally it's better with APFSDS.
After this, you can take your L44.
Aww. Sable can't do the magic trick. Sad.
But I also have ESS.
Where is he?
It's things like that, and smoke, which the standard one doesn't. Now for the T62, which
Okay,
has actually one of my more liked shells. High explosive, fin stabilized.
Hands down the best meme round in the fucking game.
It's even better than the fucking Sturmpanzer.
Yes.
What I was talking about earlier, with this one actually ejects the shell casings out further.
Yeah.
As you can see, it hits my back of my back. Yeah, this one also gets all the same treats as the other one. Add-on armor packages, which don't cover, like, they literally don't cover the front. It's only the sides, basically, of the turret. Laser rangefinder up top, smoke grenade, you get your ESS, which I don't have yet. And you get, hopefully, decent mobility when you're slated. Okay, to shoot the star. That's too far.
What do you mean so far?
Like, where did you shoot?
Yeah.
There, that's the star that you see. If someone shoots there, you're grand. You're like,
Well, to be honest, no one will shoot there. That's the problem.
yeah, because they know, like, literally, just look. That's just a sheet metal plate that's protecting you.
Yeah. If I see a tank like this, I shoot here. Always. Center of map.
Just shoot it dead in the middle. Meh. Oh, now you can actually show your little trick. Your little tip. I'll point.
Show your little trick I learned.
I'll point the right of my hull. I'll angle that so you can shoot through there because that's actually immediately where my ammunition. No, I'll do it via the driver's side.
Okay, breach.
Why?
Why not? Ah, you want to... So, where do you want the next shot? On the hull?
Yeah, show your little thing to people, like,
Ah.
for people.
You mean that shot?
Yes. If you have something with APFSDS and you see a Russian tank, shoot there.
Works on every single tank, even on VT-80.
Nope, because they have compressor hot loader. As you can see, he shot straight through right into my ammunition and knocked out my crew, which actually is a double kill. You killed all of my crew, plus you killed
The ammo.
no. Now to showcase the mean show. Yeet. Fuck.
German boys, my friend.
Ow! Your turret is twitching for me.
Happens.
Why?
Because Germany's OP.
Can I please just show you the that shell? But I have to be very precise with these HEFS shells.
Oh, Germany's suffering.
Yeah, I only have one kill with this because I shot on the inner backside of the front sprocket. Fuck. Missed.
Accuracy. Fucking hell.
Wait, laser range time really quick.
450.
Okay.
475. If I go to your front plate. Опа, на, блядь!
Right there.
Yeah, okay, the irony is I had one shell on my fucking chassis.
Yeah.
And you hit that shell. Let's actually get a minimum load. Let's take... This is a load. Yeah, this is a load I normally, obviously, wouldn't take. It's 10 rounds.
No. 5 is actually the minimum.
Yeah, this is for me the minimum I would ever take. Even I wouldn't even take that in my AS2, to be honest.
No, I mostly take 15 to 20 shells in with one of those because you
AS2 gets full ammo. Done. 28 rounds. Ready.
Yeah, most people don't realize this, but you run out of shells quicker than you know in the IS4 and all that shit.
Here's cheat of S. And it did nothing. And you did nothing. That's the point with the add-on armor of these tanks. They're not built against...
Yeah, these were built during the time of...
yes. Yes. Cheat of S.
Yeah. Okay, this actually looks amazing. Wait, zoom in on the top of my turret. You can see that's a literal 3D given right there.
Okay. Ooh, this is still working.
What, turboing?
No. Between your chassis and the tracks, there's a very little space to shoot between it.
Oh, that part, yeah. You're shooting on the sprocket holder. But people, that will be it for this review on the M Brothers and their standard counterparts. I'll see you next time. Waffle Gamer out.
Great success.
Me. But yeah, like how I asked him this was quite hilarious. I was like, I need your help. I called him. He was like, what do you need? And I said, I need your help making a video. And then he said, how can I help you? And I said, just shoot me. And he just fucking laughed.
It's precise as it can be.
Yeah, this is what I mean with APHE's devastating telepathy.
German bias!
German bias at its finest, people.
When people complain the Leopard has no armor. Yes! Oh, this game is so fucking good.
Goddamn.
Oh, I bound on your breach.
No, that was my laser rangefinder that ate your shell. That's right it. Where did it shoot?
Sable.
Oh god. Shot straight to the back of my turret. Fuck off! I was just repaired! You piece of shit! It was on 0!
That's flips. Sorry. Hashtag not sorry.
Yeah, they were fuck. Here I still dish a bitch! How did I blow something up behind you?